Okay, so we have the E3 line. Let's play C5 here. Okay, we're just gonna castle. I guess we'll take, and play D5. Excuse me. Let's go here. Takes, takes, and a queen takes. So everything is good. We've lost a little bit of time, but it's all right. We'll get it back. So at least it's making sure that my pawn stays isolated as well. All right. So now I do, in some cases, have to keep an eye on him taking this pawn. So bishop f3, he's putting a lot of pressure here. So I'm running quite low on time. Not sure what to do. So let's just play g5, get out of this pin, and see if we can indirectly put some pressure now on these two pawns. Maybe that will give us enough of an advantage, or at least an equal position, I guess. I just woke up, so having my morning coffee. Okay, so let's see what he decides to do against the dual threat. So okay, he goes for this. So he's attacking our knight. So we're just gonna capture. And where should I put my knight? If I go here, he's simply gonna take. Okay, this could get a little interesting. I'm still attacking two pawns, but he's gonna take this one. So let's see how that goes. My king is very open, so I don't like that. But besides my open king, I think maybe we can play for survival at this point. Taking on b2 with the queen will probably be a bad move, since I will give him the opportunity to come down and put pressure. Although I think he's going to get that regardless. But at least now, if queen takes, if the queen comes off the board, it's going to be a bit harder for him to attack me. I think he needs to keep the queens on, but at the same time, I could always go knight takes. And if I keep removing pieces, I'm going to make my task a bit easier. Okay, I'll take this opportunity to double the rooks. And my position almost looks playable. Almost looks like a good position, believe it or not. There's some ideas with g4 trapping the bishop on h5 as well. He wants to keep this idea going, since both pieces are coming into the f7 square. But I'm also putting a lot of pressure on f2 with both my rook and my queen going there. So this pawn f4 is not possible at the moment. So this is a trick that he has right now. And I'm wondering if he already fell for some kind of checkmate. So I'm looking at lines. I'm looking at lines with queen takes, rook takes, knight f3. No, it doesn't work. Not yet. Maybe knight f3 first. Knight f3. Bishop has to take. Knight f3 and bishop has to take. When we take only one, we check. Oh, we check. Well, we take only one. Let's see. Maybe this works. Yeah, I agree. Rooks on the 7th rank are usually good. So this probably is just going to lead to a draw. He's going to take here, check, and I don't think I can escape the checks. So he'll just go here and we'll repeat the position. And of course, if he takes here, it's suicide. We'll just give him checkmate. Maybe I misplayed this a little bit. Maybe I needed to be a bit more patient and not sacrifice my knight on f3. Since now he can simply go for the perpetual check with queen f8, queen f7. Anything else, I think, loses. And he knows he's got that in the bag, so he doesn't have to, obviously. And okay, he goes for that. So anyone wants to challenge me? All right, there it is. Let's see. You almost beat me yesterday. Almost beat me yesterday with I don't even know what we played last game, but okay, I'm gonna play normal chess and see how it goes. Okay, so we'll go for this. My opponent is playing something similar to the last game I just played. But we should be doing quite well here actually already. And this looks like he's gonna drop some material for sure. We'll take here first. Knight moves, we take the bishop, and then the e4 pawn drops as well. So not the best opening choice to go for f3, e4. Okay, so that's just a free piece. Now we take on d2, we check. Now we take here, the queen is, we're trying to trade queens, we're also trying to take on f3, solidify the position, and we're up a piece, so this shouldn't be too complicated. Okay, just develop. Play knight here next. Okay, we'll simply just trade a bunch of pieces, and it should be fine. Really. Okay, this looks like a free pawn, so let's take it. Obviously, he's pinning most of his hopes on the idea that there's a back rank mate, but he gave up on that. Okay, I usually just play against the French e4, d4, and the advanced variation. I like to play the line with d3, sacrificing my pawn on d4, but of course my opponent goes for something else altogether. This move is probably not good. In a lot of lines you want to push your pawn to c5. Here now you don't have that opportunity. And notice how the pawn on c3 takes away the square from the knight as well. Okay, one idea here is to play knight f3, h4, h5 against this move, and then ask your opponent what he plans to do about his knight. So, for example, here he has to go now back, and now I can start ideas with like rook to h3, g3, start putting pressure. But okay, before I do all of that, I'm going to make some developing moves just because we need to. And this probably not good. It's gonna open up his king, and we should be able to start putting quite a lot of pressure there now. So I don't think my opponent should have gone for that for sure. But okay. It is what it is. And we got the position that we got. So I'm already thinking about check, knight takes, queen takes, king to e7. And knight to g5 has to win. So this rook, if he takes, I take the rook. And if he doesn't take, then this is pretty much checkmate. So he does need to do something. So queen e8 is the only move I see. But I simply take the queen, and actually no, we don't take the queen. We go queen f6 checkmate. So this should already be game over. He would have to take my knight. After I take the rook, his king's still pretty compromised. It's not like it's going anywhere. And I should be able to at least pick up something else. So okay, instead he goes for that move, but this is also checkmate. So okay, my friend, you need to work on your openings, I guess, a little bit. All right, so let's try something different this time around. And we have a Queen's Gambit. Let's see if I remember anything about this Queen's Gambit stuff. Okay, similar position, but instead now I'm gonna go for, usually this bishop is out, so now that it's not out, I wonder if I should go for a Tarrasch defense setup with my pawn on c5. Now if he ever captures, the idea is that we capture with the bishop. That's why I haven't moved my bishop. I'm waiting for him to do that himself. But now, and he's also doing the same thing. Notice how his bishop's still on f1 as well. But okay, I'm gonna go for this. See if I can play at least against an isolated pawn. So he has decided that he wants to do it the other way around. He's gonna play against my isolated pawn, although I just gave him this g7 pawn. I'm going to get some counterplay for it, but I probably should have never given him that pawn. I will have some counterplay. But now my king doesn't feel quite safe, actually. It's a bit weird how to play this now. Okay, I'm going to give this check. And see where he goes, and then I'm going to go back to b6 with my queen. Obviously, he has to go here. Okay, but this move now, it's going to give me the... He wants to take back, so I'll give it to him. Although, I mean, he's worried about his rook, but he's taking my queen, so it's not like I could take the rook. But I did have some queen to c7. No, I mean, I don't have queen c7. His queen's there. So it's a bit weird, actually. A bit weird, but now I feel that I'm getting more than I should have. Now my bishop can come into a5, start creating some threats. Yeah, this is definitely more than I should have gotten for sure. Okay, I think this needs to be played. Now obviously this is a move. This is a move. I think bishop c3 is the best way, actually, since we're gonna pick up an exchange. So let's see how we do it from here. Bishop c3, take, bishop d2, we take the rook. I'm just wondering if his queen's gonna have any weird counterplay after, but I don't see it. So let's go for this. And at least in this line, we're getting our pawn back, and his king's gonna be in a world of hurt as well. And we're trying to take this. I'm gonna put in this very sneaky move, which is obviously threatening bishop to g4. But my opponent is too smart. I should have prevented this move from happening instead. So I have to admit that I made a mistake and just return, come back home, and it's okay. He is threatening me in a few directions. So let's take care of a few things here. Let's get this check first. I'm running out of time, quite honestly, and not exactly sure. Okay, well now that he offers a trade of queens, I think my life has become significantly simpler to play. So even with my 33 seconds on the clock, I should be able to get away with this now. Let's hit the spin, see what he decides to do with it. Go there. I'm gonna try to get another piece, which should be in my favor. Okay, now my rook can come in. I'm gonna take some pawns. Okay, now that was obviously a blunder that he didn't afford. Okay, all the pawns are gonna drop. We should be able to trade there, and then this pawn is going to win the game. Okay, take there, queen there, and should be checkmate soon. Good game. Let's take another little bit of coffee in. Okay, all right, GG. Thanks for playing. Let's move on to, let's see, let's get another 5-minute game. Ooh, 2300 player. I think we have met someone that's going to destroy us for sure. Okay, but they still need to prove themselves. Okay, very standard. Nyadorf. Let's go for normal things like e5, bishop to e7, both sides castle, and I'm just gonna play bishop here, try to get d5 in. I wonder if it works at the moment. I know in some cases they play some knight here and it becomes very uncomfortable. So I wonder. Nah, okay, let's go for this. This pawn's hanging here. So, although I wonder, I don't think I can take it actually. It's kind of weird. Takes, check. It's a weird position. Then he takes on b4. So I'm not really. So let's instead go for this and solidify this pawn on b4. His d5 pawn is going to be weak in a lot of situations. And we can go knight here, knight here. So, okay. I don't know if he's trying to prevent that with this move or prevent rook e8. Maybe rook e8. I don't think he's going to take this knight. Although he might be concerned. Maybe he's also trying to go here. It's just very smart, actually. My rook's sort of running out of squares. So yeah, I think this was his concept, to go here instead. But all right, now I feel like I can take and just drop a knight on e5. So if he ever wants to remove that knight, he's gonna have to take there. Obviously, he has some nasty ideas that he's preparing, but I also have some nastiness in me, you know. Okay, if knight here, I'm simply gonna give a check first, and if bishop takes, pawn takes, knight c6, bishop c5 check, and then we take the pawn on d5. So that's not really. It's not really hanging, but I did miss this move. I did miss that move. I have to admit that. And now, what do we do now that we have missed the move? Can we get away with playing something like this? Try to go bishop f6 in some cases, if he allows it. I'm not sure where the queen's gonna go. That's the problem. Yeah, I don't like where this went, but okay. He should probably take the knight and take the pawn, but that gives us the opportunity to play bishop f6. So I'm not too unhappy. Okay, this makes a lot of sense as well. This d6 pawn is going to be quite strong, actually. But now we have some squares for our pieces as well. Knight to c6, I mean knight to e6, knight to f4, knight to d4 are ideas. And we should go for them, actually. I mean, he does have some 97 picking up my rook. I totally missed that. And I think he's missed it as well. He played rook d1. I think 97 should have been game over. Honestly, I don't know how to continue. I go king h8, obviously. He takes my knight, I take. But I don't have quite enough counterplay. My knight is going to come to d4. For sure. Okay, so what should we do here? How can we keep putting maximum pressure? There's not a lot of good squares for my rook to go to. And yeah, I think we should keep it in guarding the 8th rank. The good thing for me is that notice how 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces are going to be stopping this pawn from coming forward. So it's not going to be the easiest thing for my opponent to achieve that move. And I do want to get in my next few turns, g6, bishop g7, knight to d4 of some sort. And I think he's ready to sacrifice here, to tell you the truth. I think my opponent is quite ready to sacrifice. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for this. g6, although he does have some knight here check, which is annoying. And if knight here, he's, I believe, going to sacrifice everything on f6. Okay, but I think I have to go for it. I don't think I have an option. Okay, now in some cases, I can get away with maybe queen to e7, but okay, I didn't think that was going to happen. I actually all along thought he was going to go for this. And now the question is, what do we do? I guess this move has to be played, and he's just gonna keep harassing me. But maybe he doesn't have more than that, considering he had to sacrifice the material. And if he gives me just a couple of moves to get some kind of desirable setup in which I'm not getting mated, then who knows? I do have some ideas of my own with queen there, threatening some checkmates in the back. And this is a different position. I wonder if, problem is this pawn is way too advanced, and I probably should not give him the opportunity to take another free pawn. Then it will be quite difficult actually to deal with. Okay, that move. It's quite good actually. For example, some queen to f5 after. I'm not even sure how I stop the checkmate. I don't think I can. I think it's game over. Okay. I totally missed the idea of queen to f5. It was a good game. I'm not I did play some questionable moves, but it wasn't that bad. Okay, e4. So I like this system against the Scandinavian. But my opponent obviously knows this. Is preventing the move bishop to c4. So, which is the main idea when you play like this. So let's see, how should we take advantage? I think we can give a check, go bishop a4, bishop b3. And get something similar. What I want to do is trade this bishop, which my opponent completely blundered. Come on, Mr. Opponent. What are you doing, sir? That's not how I want to win these games. Okay, tactic for the win. So, considering his name, I'm going to play something very solid. That way I don't fall into any tactics, but he does go for this variation of the against the Caro-Kann, which gives himself some opportunities. But I'm going to try to trade some pieces, and that way he doesn't have tactics. Not that I'm afraid of the tactics, but if I could prevent them, why not? Okay, this has to be a good French for me, I guess. I wonder if I should play queen to d3 or not. Queen to d3 is a very, very interesting move. Now we're threatening to take here. And we're simply going to take here. And I don't know if I should take again. I think I will. I don't see why not. It just looks like my opponent missed the tactic. And now comes the moment of truth. What to do against this maneuver. So we'll play here. Bishop g5. We were simply going to play h6. But now that he's played this, when e7 doesn't work, he gets his move to g5 with tempo. So I do not want to, but at the same time, I think my queen needs to be back for the defense of my king. So the idea here now is that I'm going to get this move anyway. And at least now my back rank is protected. If I can get this bishop out, I could always castle queenside if necessary. But I don't want to castle queenside. At the same time, I don't want to castle kingside either, with all these dark square holes and him having the dark square bishop. So this move makes a lot of sense. So let's start creating some threats at least. Okay, that's a very good move, I think. Now, this is the thing. We're now gonna start harassing the queen quite a bit. I think we have this move first, and then we move our rook out the way. And I think here is probably the best. Now, if he goes rook there, what I had planned was to go here. And now, if he decides to take everything on g5, thinking that he has a check, I was gonna castle and bait him. Oh, but I can't castle. The bishop is there. Oh, but it wasn't gonna be there before. Okay, that makes more sense. But okay, my king is in a very compromised situation now, though. I do have to, if I can get this move in with knight to c4, then I can block the position a little bit. But he's going to get some fast moves, for example, f4. The problem with f4 is that I'm taking this pawn, so that's why it wasn't working quite yet. But I do believe we have to go now for some serious counterplay. Otherwise, my opponent is just going to blow me off the board. But it's not easy. I don't see a good way to deal with these threats. Now bishop takes is a problem. Bishop takes is a problem, and I don't know how to stop it. How do we stop bishop takes? Okay, let's throw in this move, see if he messes up. Otherwise, I think this position is completely busted. Let's go here. There's nothing I can do but threats. Now at least if bishop takes, we're gonna take. Rook takes, we take the knight. Still not pretty. He has plenty of counterplay there. I mean, especially winning this rook at the end. So, but now I thought I could get away with this move. We're trying to take. So what's my opponent gonna do? We're trying to take this. This rook could be hanging in some situations. So I won a pawn, then I got into this mess. Now my opponent is just playing to his name. He's got all the tactics working for him, but he's having obviously a hard time coming up with something concrete. But I think his position has to have something. There's way too many pieces around my king side here that he should have plenty of tactical ideas. So knight here, a move that I think I like quite a bit. Yeah. Now the question is how to take advantage of his pinned bishop. So let's see if we can get away with this move. It's a very interesting move. That honestly I just saw right now. I've been talking for the past 2 minutes trying to come up with something. And just in the last minute, I was like, okay, I have to make a move. I saw this one. Sometimes that's just how it happens. Now I think he could be in some trouble. Because if we take here with our rook, the only thing protecting the d1 rook is the queen, so he has to go to f3. There's no other move. But we're just up a piece if that happens. So I'm not too unhappy. I think if that were to happen with his 50 seconds, the only way we can lose this game is by me blundering, which happens quite often. So he goes for queen to f3 directly. So, and I don't see why not take this. Okay, so this has to go, I guess. And like I said, the only thing now is making sure we don't blunder, but okay. I think this move wins. Although he's got some tricks. He's got some tricks in the position. Wow, what a move. This is a very nice concept by my opponent. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to escape, honestly. I'm gonna try my best though. Put my king on a6. Okay, he doesn't let me. So now we're gonna take there. And we're gonna come here. My opponent really wants to win. Surprised he didn't. I'm trying checkmate. Don't forget that there's a checkmate down there. And my king's quite safe where it is, believe it or not. Now we're gonna start going for some wins here. Giving him free stuff again. More free stuff. Okay, we win on time. And we're probably winning the position as well. So okay. Let's see. I think the main line is to go here, but my opponent chooses a different setup. And at least now I get what I wanted, which is my bishop out, my knight's here. If he wants to take my bishop with his knight, he's gonna have to at least damage his pawn structure. Although maybe this construction is not so bad. Okay, let's go put our king in some sane square. This is our main counterplay at the moment. I think this move needs to be played. This move needs to be played. This move needs to be played. So a lot of tension in the center right now. He's going to win a pawn. Oh, he doesn't win a pawn. I have queen b3 at the end. which my opponent just completely forgot about. So unfortunately for him, he doesn't have any counterplay either. Since if he takes here, we simply take the knight. And if we can get d4 in, then this game should be over. So I'm thinking of moves like this. Okay, so he goes there. And now moves like this. I just need to trade some stuff. If he wants to take here, by all means, mister, go for it. Now we're gonna start putting pressure on your queen. Sometimes playing the winning positions are the hardest things. Okay, let's continue with the theme of the trade. He's playing very sensible, actually, not allowing the trades to happen. But okay, now we're gonna win a pawn. If he tries to get sneaky with like knight to c6, we'll simply go queen f5. I do have to worry about these two pass pawns, but considering I'm up a piece, I could always sacrifice. And we're up 2 pawns here on the king side, so if we end up trading my bishop for these 2 pawns, then we're simply gonna be up on the other side of the board. So I'm not complaining about that. Okay, come here. His position is very passive. He shouldn't trade queens, but then my rook's coming to the 7th rank. And once that happens, I'm gonna have plenty of tactics, although I do want to play this move first. I play this move first, put some pressure on the g7 square. So now when I do play something to d7, it has a lot more sting in it. All right, so queen here, obviously it's a very nice move, but now I'm already thinking of sacrifices on g7. I'm already thinking there something has to work down there. So let's give this little check here. He should cover with something. He went for that. So let's go give a check here. King there. Wow. You're not afraid of anything? Because it looks to me like it's checkmate. All right, and with that was a pretty good win against almost a 24 player. So thank you everyone that was on the live stream for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.